Today's stories are hard to hear but must be told. One mother walked into a hospital in Abuja, pregnant with twins, but one was pronounced dead, only to be found alive 3 years later. Another couple took their sick baby to a hospital in Benin for treatment, but he was transfused with HIV positive blood. In today's episode, we'll examine two shocking stories of what happens when trust is betrayed in the very place we go to find treatment and care, the hospital. Hello and welcome. If you are new here, I'm so glad you stopped by. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. My name is Ronke, and I share two true crime stories. If that's something you are interested in, type yes in the comment section and please subscribe. These are developing stories based on available news reports. The allegations have not been proven in a court of law, and all individuals or organizations mentioned are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now, let's get into the first case. Our first case is a heartbreaking story of baby Mumbo, a 19-month-old child in Nigeria who was infected with HIV during a blood transfusion at a private hospital in Benin City, Edo State. And right now, his devastated parents are demanding answers. It all began on February 6, 2025. That day, baby Mumbo was running high fever. His worried parents rushed him to Safe Bliss Medical Center, a private hospital in Benin City, Nigeria. According to the baby's father, Praise Mumbo, the doctor on duty told him that his baby's packed cell volume, PCV, had significantly dropped and therefore recommended a blood transfusion, otherwise his veins would collapse. Faced with the possibility of losing their first child, the couple paid 40,000 naira for the blood transfusion. 2 transfusions were done, and after a few days, the baby was discharged. But just when they thought things were getting better, the nightmare continued. On May 5th, baby Mumbo fell ill again, and once again, another urgent transfusion was required. This time, Praise Mumbo said he offered to donate his blood, but was told the lab technician who was supposed to screen him had closed for the day. Desperate to save his son, he paid a sum of 35,000 naira for the blood transfusion. Baby Mumbo was transfused a second time and discharged 3 days later. But what came next would change their lives forever. On May 19, 2025, the owner of Safe Bliss advised the parents to take baby Mumbo to another hospital for follow-up treatment, so they went to Edo Specialist Hospital on Sapele Road. There, the doctors ran several tests and confirmed that baby Mumbo was HIV positive. But how could that be? Praise Mumbo and his wife tested HIV negative, so they believe that he was transfused with HIV positive blood at Safe Bliss Medical Center. The Mumbos have since written a petition to the Edo State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, calling for a full investigation and justice for their child. In response to the allegations, the hospital's lead doctor, Dr. Adesoto Humphrey, has stated that all clinical protocols were followed. He insists that the baby tested negative for HIV before the transfusions and that Safe Bliss gets its blood from an accredited blood bank. So where did the infection come from? Was there a mistake at the hospital? Was it in the blood supply chain? Or is something else going on? As of now, there are more questions than answers. Baby Mumbo is the couple's first child, and the emotional toll on this young family is unimaginable. My heart goes out to the Mumbos and every parent facing uncertainty in the healthcare system. Our second case today is that of Eunice Bright Ekwok, a 32-year-old housewife from Abuja, who says one of her twin babies was stolen at birth by the doctor, and that she accidentally discovered the child nearly 3 years later. And now, she and her husband are calling for justice and a DNA test to prove their claim. It all began in April 2022. That was when Mrs. Ekwok went for antenatal registration at Divine Rain Maternity Clinic at the Sauka area of Abuja. It was there, she says, that the doctor, Timothy Zeje, confirmed she was carrying twins. Her heart swelled with joy. It was a miracle pregnancy, but also a source of anxiety. Her husband, Bartholomew Wright Ekwok, was struggling to find a stable income. How would they raise two babies? Still, she was hopeful. However, when she requested a copy of the scan result to show her husband, the doctor refused to provide it. He allegedly told her that the hospital policy didn't allow patients to take their scans home, as it had to be kept in her file. In May, she returned for a second scan. Following her persistent request, the hospital reluctantly permitted her to take the scan result temporarily, with instructions to return it the following day, which she agreed to. She took the scan result home and showed it to her husband, and returned it to the hospital the next day as instructed. She continued her checkups, excited for the arrival of her twins. As her due date drew closer and labor hadn't started, Mrs. Bright Ekwok spoke to Dr. Zeje about having a C-section. The procedure was approved. But something felt off. She noticed that the hospital staff only prepared items for one baby, even though she was expecting twins. When she asked why, the staff explained that one of the babies had shown signs of distress during a scan and will need oxygen support after delivery. When it was time to deliver, Mrs. Ekwok had a C-section at the same clinic. She was unconscious throughout the procedure. Her husband wasn't allowed inside. No family member was present. When she regained consciousness, hours later, she was handed one baby and was told that the second baby had died. Later, Dr. Seiji advised the couple to transfer the surviving infant for urgent oxygen treatment at a specialist hospital in Gwagwalada. Not long after that, Dr. Zeje discharged Mrs. Ekwok from the hospital. When she again asked to see proof that her baby had truly died, she was told that the child was dead, but that the body could not be shown. When she continued to inquire about the dead child, the hospital staff said she should be grateful for the one that survived birth, rather than asking for her second baby, since they were a poor couple and could barely take care of one child. When Mrs. Ekwok returned to the hospital for a follow-up on the C-section wound, she asked to see her medical file, but she was told the file had been burned, even though she could see stacks of other patients' files inside one of the offices. Then came an unexpected turn. Fast forward nearly 3 years. While at a nearby general hospital for her child's routine immunization, Mrs. Ekwok came face to face with a child she believed could be the missing twin in the care of someone else. As she was leaving the facility, following a routine immunization of her son, she spotted a familiar face. It was the wife of the doctor who delivered her baby. When Mrs. Ekwok went over to greet her, she noticed the baby with the doctor's wife looked exactly like her own child. The same dreadlocks, the same face, legs, everything. The only difference between the two babies was the clothes they were wearing. It was right then she concluded that her earlier intuition that her twin baby was taken away at birth and did not die at birth was confirmed. She didn't cause a scene. Instead, she and her husband hatched a plan. She started visiting the doctor's home regularly, pretending to sell her clothes as a way to support her family. She would bring wrappers and plead with them to help by buying. That way, she could observe the child and gather more information. But later, things took a troubling turn. According to the Ekwoks, when the doctor and his wife were confronted, they initially showed remorse and handed the baby to them with apologies. However, as they prepared to leave, the doctor's wife physically prevented her from doing so and told her husband to contact the police. The couple were detained for several days for trying to steal the doctor's baby. They were released only after they agreed to sign an affidavit, admitting to the crime and apologizing to the doctor. Through all of this, they made one request, a DNA test. They were willing to pay for it, but the doctor and his wife refused, and the police allegedly blocked the request. The Ekwoks have come out publicly with the dispute. They are demanding a DNA test and calling on the authorities to intervene and uncover the truth about the identity of the child. But public pressure is mounting. The family's lawyer stated that two DNA tests had been arranged, with one allegedly funded by the doctor and a local NGO. He explained that one laboratory had refused to release its result, while the second had yet to conduct the test. According to the Ekwok's lawyer, they were at a standstill, noting that even the police acknowledged DNA testing was the only way to resolve the matter, yet there was no transparency in the process. He also revealed that in a new development, Dr. Zeje had reportedly filed defamation charges against Mrs. Bright. As of now, the child in question is over 2 years old, and unless justice is served, the truth about his origins may remain buried forever. But the Ekwoks are not giving up, and neither is the growing number of people standing with them. Kindly share your thoughts and comments. Please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.